There is a bill, there is a bill that actually will create millions of jobs overnight that's pending, hanging around this Capitol, that if we could get passed would mean a great deal immediately tomorrow, literally, the day after the bill is signed by the President. And that, Mr. President, is the Federal Highway and Transportation Bill, which last week was passed and compromised by one of the most liberal and progressive members of this body and one of the most conservative members of this body, Senator Boxer from California, Senator Inhofe from Oklahoma, worked for over a year and a half to put a transportation bill together, a 2-year transportation bill. Many of us would have liked it to be 5 years or 6 years, but 2 years is what they could negotiate, and you know what? It's a lot better than the short-term 3 months, 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, temporary measures that I think we've been under for the last several years. That gives no consistency, none, for our states and our counties and our cities. It puts, if you talk about uncertainty, the business community, real estate developers, planners, community planners, transit planners, they don't know what it's going to look like 6 months from now or even next year. This bill would give at least 2 years of certainty, and we could come back hopefully and pass a long-term extension, 5 years or 6 years. But 2 years, Mr. President, is much better than 30 days or 60 days, 90 days, which is what the House is contemplating. And I just want to say one word about this extension. Extensions are not benign, as Senator Boxer told us today. Extensions in some states aren't worth the paper that this extension will be written on because, Mr. President, you know that most of these projects are funded by 75% approximately federal money, 25% local. Well, in the old days, when states were flush with cash and people were running surpluses, when we messed up in Congress like we're messing up now and not giving them a transportation bill on time, some of our states could just dip into their local money, keep their projects going, waiting for us to do our job. Mr. President, those days are over. Do you know any state in the union running a massive surplus right now? Do you know any state anywhere? I don't, because states have drawn down their reserves. They're running on very tight budgets because they're all coming out of this recession. Even our state, that has a very low unemployment rate relative to everybody else, that really never experienced the recession like everyone else did, we still are running pretty sizable deficits at the state level. I can tell you my state doesn't have any extra cash to front the federal government. So when these projects run out and don't get not extended, but don't get reauthorized, a lot of these transportation projects will come to a halt. Overall, America's infrastructure generally is graded at a D. Now, we're the most advanced country in the world, but get a D rating when it comes to our infrastructure, surface transportation, water infrastructure, dams, levees, et cetera. So our airports in Louisiana are to see. Our levees, despite the huge investment the federal government's made recently, but because of the long-standing, overall, long-term disinvestment or lower investment over time, we still have a C. Our bridges, we have more bridge surface than almost any state in America. I think we're third. We have a D-. Our ports, we have more ports. In fact, our Mississippi Southern Port from Plaquemine to Baton Rouge is the largest port system in the one of the largest in the world, definitely the largest in the country, C-, and our roads are D. So this bill that Senator Boxer has been on the floor now all week, and I am joining her in helping her to tell the House of Representatives, you're playing with fire here, you're playing with dynamite here. I mean, we have got to get this transportation bill out. I'm sure that other states can benefit from this bill. If we don't, this will be the 9th short-term extension since 2009. People at home must think we have just lost our minds. The clearest thing to people at home. They may not understand, and sometimes it's hard for us to understand all the intricacies of every issue. But everyone in America, even our children, understand that to build roads, you need a road crew. To build bridges, you need a bridge crew. To build mass transit, you've got to have people actually building. Construction jobs. We need jobs in America right now, yesterday, today, immediately.